Oh, well, this is an exciting episode, not because of what's in the episode, but because I can finally make an announcement. So, over the last few weeks, especially on this series, I've adopted the saying, you love to see it. I've said it so often now that literally it's in my vocabulary. You love to see it. I say it about 500 times a day now. But I finally got around to designing a shirt with the saying on it, and I can finally say it is now available for you to buy in my Teespring store. The link is in the description below if you want to buy it. If you do buy it, then thank you very much. It's been much appreciated with your support. If you can't buy it or you don't want to buy it, that's fine. I'm still going to be making the videos anyway. It's not like I'm moving into another business venture, is it? Although saying that, the Huddersfield finances do need this money, so if you could help me out, that would be great. And then I might be able to make a big name signing like Jan Vennegoor Hesselink in January. So in the last episode, we took on both Newcastle and Wolves, and in the game against Newcastle, we beat them by 1-0 with a goal from John McGinn, but then in the game against Wolves, we lost 2-1, even though Hal Robson-Kanu got an assist. Now, we do move into today's episode on a better run of form than we did previously to last episode. So, we've only played 3 games since we lost to Wolves, and in the following match against Manchester United at home, Wilfried Zaha gave us an early lead, but then Ousmane Dembele scored twice in the same half to give Manchester United a 2-1 half-time lead. But in the second half, Maximilian Philip played this long ball over the top for Neil Maupay to run through and fire it past De Gea to give us a vital point and a 2-2 draw at home. We followed up with a 1-0 defeat away at Arsenal as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang fired in very early on in the game. And then against Southampton, we did manage to beat them by 4-2 with Wilfried Zaha finishing it off in injury time to give us a very big 3 points. It does mean that we move up to 14th position in the league and we now push ourselves 9 points ahead of the relegation zone. But we do take on Aston Villa in this episode, who are currently bottom of the league and have only won once all season. I feel like this is going to be a bad game to pick. Yeah, the Huddersfield fans haven't been very happy on social media after our 2-1 defeat against Wolves. They all tweeted Mounier out, our top goal scorer, and he wants him out of the team. Actually, I'm going to get online with security and ask him to ban him from the ground indefinitely. I mean, what kind of fucking name is Dale anyway? Errol Skresler is also not happy with the amount of time that he's been playing at the club recently. I mean, other than the fact that he's been injured since the start of the season, Ollie Burke is in the form of his life. There's no way you're going to get into the team anytime soon, mate. Although, to be fair to Grezler, I mean, he did cost a lot more money than Ollie Burke, so he's sort of twisting my arm there. Mesut Ozil stubbed his toe before the Manchester United game in another injury shocker. And Steve Mounier's great form for us recently has also seen him do very well for Benin. He scored twice as they lost 4-3 to Zimbabwe. I mean, they might have lost the game, but at least Steve Mounier's scoring. That's all that matters to me. England qualified for the 2022 World Cup with relative ease, but Isabella on social media said that we might be laughing now, but England will be sent packing home for the World Cup very soon. I mean, as original as they come. Santo, you're the one. You still... If anyone's interested in how under-23s are still performing, they won 9-1 the other day. Maximilian Philip got another hat-trick. He's the best player in the world in the under-23 world. So after our 4-2 win over Southampton, we also forced their board to sack Cesare Prandelli. I mean, you'd love to see it. Southampton get relegated on the save. So FA Cup third round draw day came around and finally we were drawn against a different side. We were drawn at home to League One Sunderland. Yes, that was right, League One Sunderland. They still haven't gotten themselves out of that league. Steve Mounier also went 10 hours without scoring once again and finally broke his duck against Southampton at home in our 4-2 win. I mean, what I can't work out in my head is how is this guy our top goal scorer if he keeps going on goal scoring droughts? In other news, Thierry Henry was also sacked by Fulham as manager. I mean, I didn't even know he left Cardiff. I've only just found that out now. And also apparently I put in John McGinn's contract that he can move to any Champions League club for at least 17.5 million, which apparently is now his value at the club. Brilliant, so I'm going to have to give him a new contract as well now. Although saying that, since I've taken over the contract negotiations from my director of football, I've now not got my fourth choice centre midfielder going on 50 grand a week because the director of football says, yeah, we'll keep him for another 5 years. And now we move into our game against bottom of the table Aston Villa away from home. Now, I have changed the system once again and we've gone for a diamond formation this time. So Conor Cody and Fabian Schär will play as our centre-backs and Matthias Perrin comes straight back into the team after his injury in the last episode. Christopher Ayer will play in the defensive midfield role with Wilfried Zaha, Ollie Burke playing on the wings and Mesut Ozil playing in the number 10. And Steve Mounier and Max Philip once again are partnered up front to lead the line for us. So Aston Villa, bottom of the table, 1 win all season, and John Terry's their manager. There's so many jokes in there, I don't think I can say any of them, really. But I'm looking at that team that they've got, and it is utter shit. Like, generally utter shit. They got 2 of our former players in there as well. Sergi Samper and Paul Dummett. I feel like I can do this to a lot of teams near the bottom of the league. I'll just sell them all my shit deadwood, and then get them relegated, because that's what happens every time. First Norwich last season, and now Aston Villa this season. It's a great strategy if you think about it. It also might seem like a bit of a dick move to pick the team that are really low on confidence to batter in this episode, but at the end of the day, I'm not here to make friends. I mean, I can't make friends anyway, but I'm not here to make friends. With about 4 minutes on the clock, Steve Mounier played the ball out wide for Ollie Berg to fire it back into the box for Steve Mounier to head past the goalkeeper to give us an early lead. It's a combination of dreams. Mounier to Burke, back to Mounier. Probably the most elaborate 1-2 I think I've ever seen as well. And as I was telling my team I demand more of them, Mesut Ozil put this great ball into the box for Steve Mounier to give us a 2-0 lead. I mean, the bloke loves scoring a brace. He really does love scoring a brace in this series. Although saying that, I don't remember the last time anyone actually scored a hat-trick on this series. I don't think anyone ever has. Could you imagine if Steve done it today? It would be a miracle. And sometimes if you wish for it hard enough, it will happen. And after this layoff from Max Philipp, Steve Mounier scored this wonder strike from 25 yards to score his hat-trick and to give us a 3-0 lead after 22 minutes. I mean, fuck right off. How has he scored that? That's what I want to know. The bloke can barely score in the box, let alone from 30 yards out, and yet he's doing that. You taking the piss? Are you taking the piss? Half-time came around and we were in a resounding 3-0 lead, and this is easy. This is generally the easiest game we've played all year. I'm so glad I got to livecom this, because there's nothing that can go wrong now, surely. Actually, hold on. We've been in this situation before where I was too complacent and then we ended up losing the game, so let's not piss around now. I told the players we cannot be complacent. We cannot concede early because otherwise we're going to collapse. So we went out there and conceded a minute into the second half. Junior Stanislas scored a header. I mean, we've had this before when we played Palace and Max Meyer scored a header against me. It's going to happen again. I can feel it. The obligatory 60th minute sub saw Marcus Llorente come on for Christopher Ayer in the defensive midfield role to give us a little bit more balance to the side. And then a free kick to the back post by Mesut Ozil found Steve Mounier, but his header was somehow kept out by the goalkeeper. I mean, this bloke could have had 5 goals today. And then Fabian Schär laid the ball back to Matteo Perrin, who then just allowed the striker to take the ball off him and put it into the back of the net. It's 3-2 with 25 minutes left. Like, this is generally going to happen, isn't it? This is genuinely going to happen. And obviously, I started panicking, so I sent on John McGinn to play in the defensive midfield role alongside Marcus Llorente as we went for a 4-4-2. And despite us being defensive, we did have another attack in injury time as Wan-Bissaka played the ball over top for Steve Mounier, who fired it straight at the goalkeeper. I mean, in the first half, he was like Ronaldo. In the second half, he's like Pinaldo. I don't know, like, I didn't know where I was going with that. I then changed our tactics to make sure that we were time wasting at every opportunity. Imagine that. I had to resort to time wasting against a team that have won once all season. And thankfully, we just managed to hold out for the win. I mean, this team is coming into training tomorrow. I don't really care. 3-2 against Aston Villa. He's taking the fucking piss.